number 7. Lick of the week, number 7. I got a lot of people asking me. I posted a little clip of me messing around. It was kind of on a Steve Gadd kind of kick, and just playing some linear stuff that I think it's kind of what he does. I don't know if it's exactly what he does, but had a lot of people asking me about it after I did it. I was just kind of, it wasn't really an instructional video. I was just kind of messing around. So the lick that I think a lot of people know this, the groove part, which is like a double stroke. It's like a double stroke loop, inverted double stroke. But the other part was a little more confusing, so I just wrote it out and I figured I would show how to do it and show some different ways to do it. So here's what it looks like. You can play it in 16th notes. That's how it's written there. Or you can, it's 6 notes, so you can play it as a sextuplet as well, or like in 8th note triplets, whatever. Play it binary or ternary is the main point. So, okay, so the way I wrote it out, the easiest way to practice it, just to get used to it, is right, left, foot, and an accent on the left. Just do that over and over again. That's the main idea with that. I really spend a lot of time to make that sound smooth, so just practice that over and over again. You don't have to do it on the hi-hat, you can just do it all on the snare if you just have a kick and snare. Accent the first note as well. Count those as 16ths or as triplets. So you can also put it on the toms, your right hand on the tom, that first right hand, put it on the toms. Just practice it over and over again, get it to where it's comfy. And then the next part is, the way I was playing it, I wrote this thing out called It's a Really Long Exercise. So that's kind of, I don't think I can put all that on the screen, so just isolate what I was playing in that other video that caused these questions. So that's it right there. Hit pause if you need to. And the lick that we're focusing on is on the bottom here. It's the first 2 bars is just kind of a simpler thing. It's just a groove, and then with inverted double strokes. Then the bottom part is a 2-bar phrase that it takes 2 bars to complete it if you're doing it in 16th. So put some single strokes at the end there. The sticking for the bottom part is just right, left, foot, and then left. It repeats that several times until at the very end it just does 4 single strokes. It's a crescendo. So anyway, here's that whole thing. The groove, the first 2 bars goes that whole thing again. So. Weird thing about that is, like, where it starts over every time is on the hi-hat, so it kind of sounds, you know, the beginning of the lick kind of sounds transparent when you're flying through it, because the accent is at the very end of it, and then the first note of it is on the hi-hat, so going from a loud accent at the end of it on the snare to a quieter note on the hi-hat, so it's kind of weird, but I'll play it slow one time. Slow, but you should be able to play it slow if you really get it down. So you can take that, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. You could do it on the hi-hat like I was doing. Or you can do it on the toms, where you're doing the second 2 bars. Instead of doing it on the hi-hat like that, just put it on a new tom each time. It's another variation I did on there. Do that with the groove. Here's what it sounds like. things you can do with it. You can play it as sextuplets or eighth note triplets, and then go into 16ths. So if you played it with, let's see, if you played it with eighth note triplets, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the idea there. Something I like to do when I'm practicing sometimes is go between ternary like that to binary, the way that I played it a minute ago. So each one of those phrases would be 2 bars. Okay, so you have 1, and then when you start over, this tom up here, that's when you go to binary. You're playing 16. So that's the whole thing. It's going to sound like it's speeding up, but really you're just switching your note rate from eighth note triplets to 16. So that's how that sounds. So I'll play it a couple times in a loop so you can hear how it flows together. Cool. It's always good to practice this with a click too. This is 160. Oh, here you go. Also work on combining the other stuff you know with it so you can actually apply it to things. So it's not just a lick that stands alone. Mess around for a second. Mess around with that kind of stuff.